Hello, ModifiedRabbit here. Today we're going to be swatching and reviewing this Sugarpill. It's the C2 from the Capsule collection. Man, I am seeing yellow, right? Oh, wait. It depends on the... There we go. Look at that. Depending on, like, the lighting. It doesn't actually do that in person. It's just the camera. Well, there we go. You get more of a... I think it's... This light is... a little bit different from the actual, lights I've got going on over here. But anyway, we're going to be doing the C2, the capsule from the Capsule collection for Sugarpill, and I've got a single that I'm going to be kind of like for myself, even just going back into and checking out, because when I first got this, it was like a good, I think, couple years ago or so, and I was just I didn't have good like supplies or anything like that, and I just really wasn't impressed with it. But everybody else really loves Sugarpill, and I'm just like, I'm gonna give it another shot with this today and see how it goes, because we got better brushes and everything like that. So, and I just love reds. Anywho, here we're gonna open this up. There's a cool little mirror in here. It's a little dusty, so that's kind of nifty. You can still see through on this side right here. And we've got these little sections right here. All the names are on the back, which I think is kind of cool. We've got, let's see, I believe this large shade right here is a blush. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These tiny ones are all mattes. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these foils right here. So we've got, or what some people would call shimmers, but they are foils. So they're really nifty. That blue one looks really cool. Anyway, and then we've got just the matte red, which is called Love Plus. So what we have here, we're gonna go over the names real quick. I'll list them off. We've got Side Eye, Elevate, Moonshine, Retrograde, Double Shot, Skyrise, Young Blood, Insomniac, Metro, and Karma down here. So we're going to go ahead and just, I've already put primer on this eye, but we're going to go ahead and just get into swatching these real quick. I'm going to take this out of this package right here, because it is a pan, and it's not, it's like a refill pan. It's a little cheaper when I got it than getting like the full, because I just wanted to try it out. So I went ahead and got the little refill pan. So it's actually pretty big, like the refill pan is. So, all right, so we got that. And we're going to go ahead and swatch this single first. So we've got this, and this is Love Plus, and it's kind of rough. Like it's not smooth whatsoever. So it's very rough. So this is why I didn't like it. It's very streaky. It just really didn't want to leave my finger, but that's just for swatching. I have not actually used it yet on my eyes, like where there's primer and everything. So because I was so disappointed in the swatch when I had gotten it a while ago. So it's going to be kind of like a proper review of it for me as well for this. So, but as far as swatching goes, hello, Bandit. As far as swatching goes, it's very streaky. It's not as, it's a really nice red if it weren't so streaky. I don't know, we'll find out if it's going to be like that with, brushes and primer. If not, we'll see if it needs any building to get that nice solid color, all that good stuff that we'll do later once we get done with swatching all these other things. But we're going to go ahead and start swatching the palette. And I figure we can start with the mattes, and then we'll do the blush, and then the four the four foils. Sorry, my brain. We're gonna do Side Eye, Double Shot, Young Blood, Metro, and Karma. These are a lot of brown shades. I put side-eye, which these are actually better than this Love Plus thing. I don't know if they changed their formula or what, you know, maybe they have since, you know, and I just need to get a new Love Plus. So we got side-eye, that was double shot. This next one is Young Blood. All right, that one is a little bit streaky. So I just not super duper impressed with Sugarpill's mattes right now. Like so far, just they're kind of, you know. All right, now we're gonna get these last two, which is Metro and Karma. This is a pretty small palette, so this live probably won't take anywhere near as long. Yeah, I did. Got this Metro one. That one's pretty. And this Karma one. So those aren't as streaky, so those are nice. I like those. It just seems like their brown and red shades are not as great. But yes, I did swatch this a while ago on Facebook. Because we're doing, you know, since I can't really do the any brand new stuff that's coming out, you know, type stuff, because I can't afford all that. We're going through some older palettes, which I know some people still, you know, buy. So I figured we'd do some nice, you know, review of that. All right, we're gonna go with this blush shade now. We got Retrograde. That's pretty smooth feeling. It is. It's very. It's actually pretty creamy. I like it, and it's really solid. All right, now we're gonna get these nice foil shades swatched. Let's see how those go. So we've got this Elevate, Moonshine, Skyrise, and Insomniac. So we'll do Elevate first. Moonshine. Ooh. All right, we got Elevate. Very pretty. Moonshine. Gorgeous. Love it. They're very beautiful shades. This Moonshine one, it's not just like a brown. It's got a, it looks kind of like greenish. I don't know. I can't quite tell. It's definitely not a brown shade to, you know, like the shimmer. So it's definitely got that nice little shift to it that it does a little bit. All right, and then we're gonna go and do Skyrise and then Insomniac. The Skyrise one is the kind of like a blue, and it is kind of rough. So we'll see how. And then Insomniac is the green. All right, we'll do Skyrise. It's a little rough and clumpy, to be honest. So you're gonna want to like try and make sure you buff that out. But it's still a really pretty color. It's just very rough and kind of clumpy is all. And then Insomniac one, which is slightly clumpy as well. So you want to make sure you buff that out, but still a really gorgeous color. Very, very pretty. It's like a nice radioactive type color. So I really definitely like the foils more for this. Of course, that kind of tends to be the case for a lot of things because I'm super picky on mattes, you guys. But these foils are absolutely gorgeous. So they're not streaky. The, you know, two bottom foils are kind of clumpy, but honestly, it's not, you know, that's not that bad. All right, we're gonna wipe these off, but the mattes seem a little bit streaky, so, which kind of, I kind of expected when I first got this palette was for the mattes to be just a tiny bit streaky because of how I had tried with the Love Plus, and it was a little bit streaky too, and I just really wasn't impressed with it. But so I was like, I don't know if I'll like this palette, you know, because it's you know, I wasn't impressed with their single color that I had gotten, but I won this palette in that Makeup by Design group that I'm in, and from Facebook, and they had between this and like a Jaclyn Hill, and I was like, I really like what I really like about the palette is the actual casing itself. That's probably my favorite thing about it. Even if I weren't going to use this, which I have used it a couple times, even if I weren't going to, or I used it all, I could still save this palette and use it as decoration, which I absolutely love. Um, it is so nice. It's nice quality and everything. And I believe the C1 is a pink, like pink theme or whatever, and this one's orange. So, which I actually really like this one because of the colors. They're a lot more. They seem like a lot more fun colors, darker colors for me. Pardon, I was very thirsty. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna try. I'm not sure which ones we want to try. Let's see. We can try the blush for sure. We'll have to do that last though. Maybe we'll see about trying this yellow and green. Maybe, because I'm afraid that if I try these other shades, like these, try and do a look with these shades up here, they won't show up dark enough. Because my skin tone and whatnot, and they're so light. This yellow does seem like it's pretty, bright enough of a yellow to show up on me. So maybe we'll do these three colors right here. But first, we're going to add a little bit of red to it too, because we do, like I said, I do want to try a little bit of this as well. So we're going to try and add a little bit of that red to it. But we'll go with this base of this yellow right here, which again, we gotta look at this as Metro because I won't remember the shades. Gotta keep looking at it. All right, so with the brush seems to be able to easily pick it up, and as usual, we're gonna go with the non-primed side. We're gonna turn this, let me try and get this turned down, this little light right here for these, so you guys can see the colors a little bit better. There we go. So this yellow is showing up very well, even without primer. So I'm excited to see what it's going to be like with the primer. If you hear anything in the background, it's my partner's headphones. They're very loud. Sorry. There we go. That's very nice. Now let's try this side with the primer. Oh wow, this is even better for sure. Like, it is very bright. Like, you guys can see a little bit. We've got it kind of soft over here, and it's very solid and bright over here. All right, get that yellow in there. It's a nice little base shade. So that'll be our main shade right there. Alrighty. Okay, then we're gonna go ahead and do green. So the matte is actually pretty nice when it's on the eye, so I'm having high hopes now for the Love Plus once we, get it on with their brush. Get this in here. We're gonna, ooh. Okay, so these foils are definitely great even without primer. And on their own, they're very nice, but like when I like put it a little bit over the yellow a little bit, and it lightened up the green shade, and it looks kind of cool. So I think they could do nice as toppers too. So it's kind of nifty. We're gonna do it on this side, see how that goes. I am actually surprised. The primer kind of seems to have muted that shine from the foil. So the primer is not too great for this, which surprises me a little bit. I'm wondering though if maybe I used my Concrete Minerals primer, which is a more like kind of oily feel to it. Pardon me. I'm wondering if maybe that'll help bring it out a little. Might have to try that on my arm real quick just to test it out, because it's very surprising that, when primer mutes the color a little bit as compared to, helping it. It definitely does. Like you can see there's more shine there than on this side. And that's even with, trying to add a little, extra on there. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to grab this, the Concrete Minerals that I have. It's kind of like a balm. We're gonna put that on my wrist real fast and see how that does. Okay, yeah. So you just need like a very particular primer for it to still be super shiny and stuff. Or just go without the primer if you're planning on using just the foils in this palette. Or have like an oily primer like this. This primer is really good for foils and whatnot. Like, it's amazing. Foils and shimmers just brings that everything out. It's so nice. Alrighty. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and something's stuck in my throat. It's just scratchy today. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go in with this blue now. Let's see how that does. Try and tap some of that off since it is a little, clumpy. Okay, this does not really want to come off the brush very well. And we're kind of mixing it with that green a little bit, so it's not coming off like super blue, but it does not want to come off this brush. Unless it's just like, yeah, it's on the brush, so it just doesn't really want to try a second layer. Under there a little. Okay, so yeah, it does not want to really show up that well. We'll try with the primed side. Oh, it's even worse over here. Oh no! My little eyebrow piercing getting in the way. Okay, so, oh my goodness. Like the difference in the foils that the primer, like regular primer, just makes in a bad way. Like it just mutes it so much. Like it takes away so much of that shine, and it's not very good looking. This will be like one of those few times to where we're like I don't like the primer side as much as I do the non-prime side of these looks. We've actually got a good bit of fallout going here too because of, you know, the clumpiness of the green and the blue. So you do want to be careful of that because there's a good bit of fallout. So, okay. Well, there isn't anything I can really do to help bring this out any better. It's just the blue is just not really wanting to work with me at all. We're gonna wipe this fallout off. Very sparkly fallout. All right, now we're gonna try this red. We're gonna add some of the Love Plus in the intersection. We're gonna smudgy this a little bit. All right, we're gonna put some of this Love Plus in here. We're gonna see how this does it finally with brushes and whatnot. Okay, so we do the side without primer. Okay, it's showing up a little bit better from the brush onto my lid than it did from my, you know, from skin to skin. Much better, actually. So I think their mats just really don't like to swatch very well because they want to cling onto your skin, and, you know, going from your finger to, you know, more skin, it's already on your skin, so it's like, I'm gonna stay here, you know. I'm gonna do 2 layers and see how that goes. This is really weird look because that yellow, we can't see it as well. We'll blend all those in later. All right. I'm really surprised. Like, the primer actually doesn't make that much of a difference for this. Again, it kind of seems like it just barely mutes it. Even though this isn't a foil, this is a matte, but still, like, it seems to mute it just a little. Try the second layer. But it's almost the same. Okay, so it's almost the same, just I think it mutes it just a tad. We're gonna smudgy this down there, and then we're going to go ahead and try and get these blended. Well, they blend very, very well, at least the mattes anyways. I should have grabbed a smaller blending brush, but that's alright, this works fine. Yeah, these colors blend very well, so at least there's that. And we're going to go ahead and try and get the green and blue in there. Okay, so the foils don't want to blend quite as well, but they still, you know, they still go. So it's not too bad. The shapes I have going over here are a little bit different because I have that piece in the way over there. Let's see if we can maybe like go up a little more with that. There we go. buff that out a little. Okay, so we've got this side, and then we'll go ahead and turn the light up a little bit to see if you guys can see it a little bit. Oop, I think this is probably the best. So as you can see, it's actually a little more muted on the primed side than it is on the non-primed side. So that's very rare for me to see. The Love Plus definitely, I'm glad that, you know, took the time to add that to this, because now I know that, you know, I'm a little more keen on actually using it as a shade, you know, shade on its own or whatever, because it does a lot better than it does swatching. It does a lot better on your eye. So, pardon me, I always get the sniffles when I work with makeup. There we go. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and do the overall, what I think of the palette and this little single. We'll start with the single again. Does not swatch well, but it does a lot better from a brush to, you know, your skin. So, and it's a really nice red. It blends super well. So I'll have to say that, you know, pretty much about all of the mattes so far that I've tried from Sugarpill, including the ones in here, they swatch very streaky, but they come out really well from a brush onto your skin, and they blend super well. So that's kind of cool. It's just, you know, if you're gonna, it's very off-putting when you go to swatch them. You know, you get excited and you just want to look at all the colors on your skin and stuff. You go to swatch them and they're streaky and it's awful, and you're like, ew, I'm not gonna like these. But I'm glad I took the time, give it a little bit of a second chance type thing. Make this a little even. Because that definitely makes a huge difference, like the brush going onto the skin instead of skin to skin. So that's nice. Again, with primer, it seems that normal primer with Sugarpill, like a normal kind of matted type primer, is not great. It mutes the colors from what I'm experiencing. I use a Morphe primer for my upper lid usually, and it's kind of like a matte type primer. But if you use the Concrete Minerals, like it's a more of an oily type primer, it seems to do a little bit better with the colors and helping them actually pop more, at least when it comes to the foils for sure. The foils in this palette, I absolutely love these three foils, like these two up here and this little green one. The blue I am not impressed with. I think that would probably have to be the downfall of this palette. Like the main of this palette is the fact that that blue, it feels chunky and kind of gross, and you know, it's very gritty and whatnot, and it really doesn't want to transfer well onto your eye from, you know, at least from a brush. It did well with swatching. I mean, it did absolutely amazing with swatching. It's just, it really did not want to, it doesn't want to show up at all. And it's really a bummer because it's a really pretty color. So that just, you know, that's kind of probably the main meh with this palette. Ooh, I was gonna see about using the blush. You guys are gonna let me forget. So we got, so it's a nice, like, ooh, that's really nice on my skin tone, like very soft. So I don't have like a blush brush on me right now, so I can prepare that. So what we're gonna do is use that brush and then kind of buffer it out with my fingers, and very pretty. Yeah, that's pretty. You guys probably can't see it quite so well because again, it's like my skin tone, it matches it pretty well. So it's like a really soft blush for someone with pale skin tone, which is nice because you don't really want your blush to just be like, you know, My highlighter, on the other hand, I would love, I love that. But anyway, the blush is nice. I like that they have a blush type color in the palette along with the eye stuff. It's kind of nifty, it gives you enough to do a full look with, because you don't really technically need eyeliner if you do some color on the under part of your eye. So, you don't always need eyeliner. And this kind of gives you a nice full set of stuff to do look with, or a good few looks with. So yeah, with the foils, these two are very pretty, gorgeous foils. They're very buttery feeling. I love them. This one, again, really, that was a big flop for the palette itself, like as a whole, let alone with me, I think. And then this green one is a gorgeous color. It does a lot better, again, with an oily primer for these foils. I definitely use an oily primer. And yeah, it's a really pretty color. It does feel a little bit gritty, and it's clumpy a little bit, but it actually shows up, unlike the blue. So all in all, I think this is a pretty nice palette. It's definitely not going to be a more favorite of mine that I'd go to as compared to like the Hit the Lights palette and stuff, like the Morphe palettes that I've tried so far for these lives and stuff like that. So this is probably, so far from all the lives I've done, this is probably the bottom palette that I would go to. But I still absolutely adore it. I love the casing so much. Like even, like I think it's worth it. Like it would be worth the buy, because, especially if you like this kind of stuff for decoration wise, because you could use this for decoration. And, if you like the colors and stuff, it'd still be a good, nifty, fun palette. So, you could use it and have a decoration. So I think, the utility of that, mixed with the fact that it's not a horrible palette, I think that makes it pretty worth the buy. This is a magnetic case, by the way. So, so yeah, I think it's a really good palette. I really love it. It's, Sugarpill in general, they are a little bit pricey, especially with like their singles and everything like that. I don't know if it comes down to their mattes, I don't think I would really go for them, honestly. Like, I really bought the hype of Sugarpill a couple of years ago. I really wanted them super bad, and then I got that Love Plus matte color and swatched it, and I was like, I never want to buy them again. But again, I didn't actually put it on my face with a brush, and now that I have, it's pretty nice, but I still don't think I would pay full price for their singles or whatever. These little capsules, I think I would, just because, again, like, mixed with the fact that, they're not awful, but they're good decoration stuff, and that is my type of thing that I would use as a decoration, like hang on my wall or something like that. I think I would buy those, but I don't honestly think I would, at full price, buy Sugarpill's mattes. Whether it be in a palette or, their singles. I don't think I'd buy them at full price, but I would probably buy them on sale, though, like maybe 25%+ off, and then just get like the cheapest ones I can, like the little refill pans or something like that. They're like $10 a piece on normal price. So wait till they like go on sale and buy their refill pans. But so, because they're not that impressive. So I don't know. So all in all, Sugarpill so far from my experience is kind of meh. They're not horrible, but they're not really great either. Their price point, I honestly think they're a little overpriced for what they are when it comes to quality and how well it works. Again, like, they blend really well, so I think, that's kind of nice. So I don't know. You just have to really watch with what you use them with, like their primer, like a specific primer or something like that. And yeah, it's I don't know what else to really say about about Sugarpill in general so far. But again, like, this palette, I really love the design of it and everything, so I really enjoyed it. And for the most part, just to have. It's a very, I guess it's more of a gimmicky want, like, I would want this more for the gimmick of it, like, again, because of the design of the palette and everything. everything than I do for what's inside. I think if they did a palette, like a full foil palette, that's not like this blue, like maybe rework that blue to where it's better and actually comes off, you know, like shows up. But like if they're like these 3 shades and they did a full foil palette, I would probably pay full price for that. That would be great. Like their foils are pretty nice. I just really am not impressed with their mattes at all whatsoever. So, and that blue foil is horrible. It's absolutely awful. So that is my full, you know, review, opinion, and all that good stuff on the Sugarpill C2 capsule palette and the, you know, Love Plus single. I'm thinking I will probably try and do Pat McGrath. I do have a tiny palette from that, a single shade and a lip shade. And I just recently won the Mothership, one of the rose palettes. And I don't know when that's going to come in. If it comes in before next Sunday, I'll be adding that to it too, and we'll just do all of the Pat McGrath stuff at once, since I don't, you know, like, yeah, since I don't have like bunches and bunches of, you know, Pat McGrath stuff, and don't plan on getting a whole bunch because Pat McGrath is extremely expensive. So, so yeah, we'll probably do Pat McGrath next Sunday if you guys are interested. I had gotten like the small palette and stuff and the single on sale. It's pretty cheap. So whenever Pat McGrath has a sale or whatever, you can usually get, you know, the small stuff pretty cheap, and they're really good quality and everything in general. So it'll be, you know, probably pretty nice to, you know, swatch those for you guys and everything like that, and show those off. I got that single and stuff that I actually was kind of disappointed in. Good quality, but yeah, we'll go over that later when I show you guys, you know, the swatch and everything. You'll see why I feel about that, about the single. So I'll see you guys. This is one of my shorter videos. Surprise, it didn't go over an hour because it's not a big palette. So I will see you guys next Sunday. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and everything if you enjoyed it. No pity likes and subscribes, please. I would love the likes and subscribes, but honestly, I also really want people subscribing to me and stuff because they actually enjoy my videos and what I do and everything, rather than just doing it just to do it, you know, type thing. Because then, you know, then you don't get people coming back for watching and everything. That's no fun. So yeah, I hope to see you guys again next weekend. And yeah, as usual, I'm really bad at saying goodbye. So bye.